Hello friends, my name is Leanne King and I'm going to show you how to create this fun glam smoky eye. This is the palette I'm using. We have 4 shades here. This is Unicorn, Glass Slipper, Salem, Shenandoah, and then Black Friday eyeliner. Because I'm going with a dramatic eye, I went a little more soft and subtle on my cheeks and my lips. I have Nude and Sadie on my cheeks, and then my lips I lined with Nude, lightly filled with Nude, and then topped with Sadie. The first thing I'm doing here is just going in with the multitasker brush and my brightening highlight shade. This is going to act like an eyeshadow primer for me and really brighten this eye area so that these colors will really pop. Now I'm going to show you a trick on how to get this nice, sharp, crisp line. Tape. Literally tape. I like to take the piece off and then stick it to my hand just so that it's not super sticky. So when I do go to put it on my eye here, when I take it off, it's not super stuck and it comes off a little more gently. You just run it up right along that bottom lash line, angle it up towards your eyebrow. Then when you remove the tape, it's going to be this crisp line because any mistakes will be down on the tape. I'm going to be using a few of the brushes that are actually 25% off right now. This is the Bright and the Blur, and then there's also the Spot brush, which I will be using a little later on. I'm going to start with the small end of the bright brush and go into the shade called Salem. I tap off any excess so the fallout happens off to the side, not under my eye. And I'm just going to start darkening this very outer V. And I'm just going to keep building this color. I do like to open my eye a little so that I can bring that color up above so that when my eye is open, I can still see it. And then I do sweep it along this lower lash line as well. You do want to keep that dark color right to the outside and not come in too far past like this outer quarter of your eye. Otherwise, it can actually shrink the size of your eye. You want to keep that dark in that outer corner. And then I'm just going in, I flip that brush over to the fluffy end and I'm just blending it softly out. As you can see, even though Salem is a dark black shade, as you blend it, it really softens out beautifully and you can even use this for your daytime looks. But because we're going dramatic, I'm just going to darken this outer V up a little bit more and I'm running some of that Salem right along my lash line as well. And I just kind of keep building and blending until they are about equal on both sides. And then I'm just going to take a clean brush, the fluffy end, and blend it out so that there's not a harsh line. Next, I'm going into the shade Glass Slipper, and I like this smudge brush's flat side because I can go in on an angle and pick up the color just on one side, tap off the excess, and then I just kind of put Glass Slipper in this outer half of my lid, and I just tap it on. Now the other side of this smudge brush is clean, so I'm just going to use it and go into Unicorn, and Unicorn I'm putting on this inner quarter of my eye so that now you've got kind of an ombre effect from the white to the silver to the black. And then I'm just going to go in with the multitasker brush and that Unicorn shade and really get it nice and close to this lash line. And then I'm going to flip it over and use the small side of that multitasker brush and into Unicorn. And I'm going to just line in the inner corner of my eye and then down underneath and just bring some brightness in this very inner corner of my eye. And then I'm just going to have a quick look, and I feel like we just need to sweep a little bit more of Salem in this under eye area just to even it out with that other side. For the Black Friday eyeliner, I really like using the line brush. This is the brush with the spoolie end that we usually use in our brows, but I really like this angled end for applying Black Friday because it is really nice and precise. I'm going to start by following right along this tape line to create my wing. I can use that tape as a guide, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to start stamping the Black Friday eyeliner along my lash line. I do prefer to kind of stamp it rather than drag it. This prevents having it kind of dark and then taper off a little bit lighter towards that outer edge of your eye. Go in and line that lower lash line only a little bit less than halfway across. Now for the glitter. To give that glitter something to stick to, I'm going to go in with the multitasker brush and vanilla lip conditioner, and I'm just going to kind of stamp that right where I want that glitter to go. And I'm going to give that same multitasker brush a spritz of our setting spray before I dip it into our Shenandoah glitter. These 2 steps make sure that that glitter goes right where we want it to and it stays there. When you dip in, make sure to tap off so that any excess falls off over there and not under your eye. And then just go in and stamp that Shenandoah glitter right where you want it. I'm going about my mid-lid in towards the center of my lid. And I do want to make sure that it's close to that lash line as well. And then I'm just going to give a quick check here, and I do feel like it could be a little bit darker on this side. So I'm just going to go in and darken up this outer corner again, just like I did in the beginning, just kind of building that color up. And then I flip this brush over and I just softly blend it out so it's not a real harsh line. Using the small end of the spot brush, I'm going to go into Salem eyeshadow and I'm going to run this right over top of my Black Friday eyeliner because it is a cream eyeliner, so this will help to set it. Time for the magic. Now we just take this tape off and you have this nice, sharp, defined line. All of the mistakes and the fallout are on the tape, not underneath your eye. But of course, some of your makeup may have come off as well. So I'm going to go in with the wash brush, which is a really, really soft brush. And I'm going to go into my brightening shade. Because this brush is so soft, it's going to put on just a very, very light little bit of my brightening shade just for a nice touch up. You can use the multitasker brush and just kind of do a little bit of more touch up along your brow if you've brought that color up a bit too high, right along your inner eye here. And then underneath, if there's like some little spots or areas that maybe you've had a little bit of fallout or you've just drugged that color down a little bit too far. To finish off the look, I'm going to go in with my illuminator. I'm going in with the Cream Illuminator Pearl and the small end of that multitasker brush, and I'm putting it right under my brow bone and to give some extra lift. And then on this inner corner for some brightness, down my nose for that nose contour. And just for fun, I'm going to dab some of that Shenandoah glitter right in the center of my lip just for some extra pop, sparkle, and shine. And this is the final look. I hope you guys have enjoyed it and that you've learned something. And I hope you guys play with the glitters because they are so much fun. And don't forget that right now the spot, the bright, the blur, and the wash brushes are all 25% off.